All right, welcome back to episode 6 of Not Your Average Podcast. And today we have someone very special that I reached out to. She's the creative mind behind the University of Virginia's women's basketball team. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's up? I'm happy to be here. Thanks for reaching out. Always excited to talk to fellow creatives and just talk to other people and hear about their stories too. But yeah, my name is Taylor White. I'm the creative director for the women's basketball program at the University of Virginia, and I'm happy to be here.
Uh, yeah, I'm happy you're on. And my first question was, did you grow up playing sports, watching sports, or anything?
So I grew up playing and watching sports. I was playing the game of basketball at the age of 5, played rec, AAU. I also tried out other sports like softball, track, soccer. I went on to college and was a dual sport athlete. I played basketball and I ran track. And I was able and fortunate, blessed enough to get 2 championships from each sport. So basketball has been the love of my life since I was a little girl. So it's kind of came full circle, playing it so young, and now I'm still around it and telling, other stories too. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think through my research, you're from Roanoke, Virginia, right? Am I right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
Roanoke, Virginia.
I'm actually in Roanoke, Virginia right now, actually.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
What, did you like go to school there?
I actually grew up in Salem, Virginia, and then after I went to Radford University, I just came back to Roanoke. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know
yeah.
Salem. I went to Cave Spring.
Oh, nice,
So
nice.
yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, it's like you never find anyone from Roanoke, so it's always,
Yeah, small world, right?
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then my next question is, how was your college experience like? From my research, you went to Shenandoah University, right?
hmm
And how was that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I actually started off at the University of Lynchburg and I played basketball and ran track there. I got my track ODAC conference championship at University of Lynchburg, and then my junior year I transferred to Shenandoah University. My little brother was running track there, and it was just like we're so close, so we just wanted to be together again. And I was excited, went to Shenandoah, still played basketball, ran track, and got a second championship in basketball at Shenandoah University. So, in full circle, I'm a professor, an adjunct professor now at Shenandoah University. It's a great community, great people. I'm also on the alumni board and the student engagement committee at Shenandoah University too. So, yeah, they've been good to me over there.
Yeah, and I just wanted to talk about your experiences there, like specifically with like internships or anything you did in athletics. How was that
Yeah.
time there?
Yes. So when I was at Shenandoah, I was part of this association called Sports Business Association, and it mostly, it was athletes in it. And every year they took 7 people to like a huge sports event, whether it's like the Super Bowl or college football playoff game or something like that. And I was fortunate enough to go to the Super Bowl, and I was chosen because I was the only communication student, and they wanted me to shoot and take videos, tell a story, and use it as a marketing piece for the university to sell, and get students to come and enroll. Um, I was also a mentor in a mentor program at Shenandoah University, and yeah, my advice would just be to talk to your professors, talk to anyone. You never know who people know, even if you don't know what to do, just like talk and listen. And yeah, it might lead you somewhere you didn't know you'd be. So
I guess that experience with the NFL was pretty instrumental, right?
yeah, it definitely was open my eyes. And it
Yeah,
was cool to experience it with my peers. So
yeah. And then I wanted to specifically talk about something that I looked up. Is Time Out with Taylor. I just wanted to see what that was about. And yeah,
yeah, so when I was at Shenandoah, that was actually the first time I really picked up a camera. Got this camera from Amazon. It was a package deal, like $500, and I picked it up, and I was kind of close with the communications director of athletics at Shenandoah because I was doing a work study, you know, when you do the clock or like do stats or something like that. So I was doing stats for football. And one day I asked him, I was like, hey, can I make something and just like shoot around? Because I was pretty close with the football coach too. And he was like, yeah, for sure. So I did. I was close with the athletes and I made like my first video. They played it on the video board. And after that, it just went from there. Like, field hockey coach asked for something, baseball wanted something. So that's when I named it Time Out with Taylor, because
Okay.
they were featured not only on the video board but on the website. So there
Okay.
was hype videos on the video board, and then on the website, the communications athletics director like allowed a space for me to tell long form stories about different athletes. So yeah, his name was Scott Musa. He like was the first person to believe in me. He just let me fly. It was fun. It was cool. I learned a lot just from YouTube, and it was a lot of it was self-taught. So
Yeah, I was gonna say YouTube University is the best teacher sometimes, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you say that in Shenandoah University was your first time picking up a camera and doing sports creative work?
Yeah, before that I was in high school. I did a few internships with local news stations. I thought I wanted to be in front of the camera. It wasn't working out for me, but we use a lot of like the JVCs, the big cameras, not DSLRs or handhelds. And you know, news content is different from like sports or social media content. So that was kind of the first time I picked up a camera. Also, like when I was injured and I tore both my ACLs when
Oh,
I was in high school,
dang.
I didn't have much to do. So that's kind of where my love for like storytelling came about. But Shando is really when I kind of dove in and I was like, all right, I need to figure out, you know, what I want to do. So
Yeah, especially after college and stuff, right?
yeah, after college, it's a beast, and you know, you don't know exactly what you want to do while you're in college, even up to your senior year. So sometimes you have to explore different things and see what you like and go from there. Like I said, you know, network and ask questions. You know,
Yeah, even for myself, like I went to college doing sports management as my major, and really I wanted to do like operations or work in the rec center. But
yeah,
after graduating, I pretty much picked up my camera too and started shooting more and more. But I don't know about
yeah.
you, but Roanoke's like a place where I see like it's hard to shoot a lot of sports sometimes. Yeah,
It is. It's not a lot of sports there. I know they have like Roanoke College there.
yeah,
Um, they have Hollins, but you kind of have to travel like outside,
yeah,
you know, for sports. But yeah, like a lot of people get a degree in one thing and then they end up making money and having a career in something different. So
yeah.
really
That's
just
very
picking
true.
up, yeah, just picking up something, researching whatever it is that, you know, you want to do
Yep.
and going
And
with
the,
it. Yeah.
and then my next question is following up to Wake Forest University. How was your time there?
Yeah, so how I got to Wake Forest was I was really close with one of my professors at Shenandoah. I told him that I had a few job offers with local news, but that wasn't something I wanted to do. And he said, well, give yourself an extra year. And I know the chair of the documentary film graduate program at Wake Forest. So I took a visit there within, like, we were on the road for 20 minutes and they called and said that I, I like got in and I was an early enrollee. So he kind of saved me, and that's the whole reason why I went to Wake Forest.
Okay. Yeah.
And then from there, like on my visit there, I went and talked to the football coach and asked, hey, you know, can I intern with you guys? This is the content that I created when I was at Shenandoah. um, and yeah, I was there for a year, got my graduate degree in sports storytelling. So and then yeah, also got the experience, you know, working in D1 um for the football program. So
Yeah, I was gonna say your master's degree is pretty unique because I actually never heard of it before researching
oh yeah,
your stuff. Yeah,
yeah, it's not a lot of graduate programs in doc film or sports storytelling. So it's one of few.
yeah,
So
that's
if
fair.
anyone's yeah looking to get their graduate degree in something like that, Wake Forest is number one. Um,
And would I assume your internship with the football team was unpaid? I'm assuming, right?
no, I think I got about $500 a month.
Oh, okay, so not too
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, so it wasn't paid through creative. I also did coaches video. So when you go on the field and you have cameras and you have to shoot like different angles for coaches, so that's how I got paid, not through creative.
Oh, okay. Is that like film
Yeah.
study and stuff for the coaches?
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So all the interns got paid through that or equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then after college, what did you do after college? Like work wise, or did you?
Yeah, so I was still in grad school at Wake Forest and I started applying to jobs early and UVA was one of the places that I applied to. Had an interview with the Seattle Seahawks, with Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, with the Baltimore Orioles, and UVA called me and said, "Hey, you got the job." And I said, "Oh no, I have a whole nother semester of school left. I was just applying just for practice, like, and they were like, oh, okay, let us talk to the head coach. And after that, I got another call and they said, yeah, we're okay with you being in school if you have to miss class for, if you have to miss practice for class or a game and like do homework or something like that, like we're gonna accommodate for you. We really want you to come here. And I was like, wow. So I talked to my professors and my parents, and I finished the rest of my degree online. And yeah, so my first like real job and first football season employed by UVA, I was still in school, and I graduated at the same time finishing like my first football season. So yeah, it was a really cool experience.
How was that work life balance then?
It was a lot, but I did have a boss. His name was OC, and he would take on projects if he knew that I had like a project for school or homework to do. So that did help. And you don't have a lot of people in your life like that. So he definitely made it easier for me. He even helped me with my thesis film, helped me
Oh,
edit, and
that's nice.
yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice of him.
Yeah, yeah. When you surround yourself with, people who care about you, love you, and you have a village of supporters, it definitely makes things easier.
For sure. That's definitely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And then after, uh, well, I did research on the rest of your time at UVA, which is you moved on from assistant director of football to director of creative media for football,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
How was that transition to be the head
Uh,
person?
I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot. It's I didn't notice how much of a difference it was from being an assistant to being director. Like, I answered to my boss who was the director versus when you're promoted to director, you're answering to the head coach. You have more responsibilities. You have to answer different emails. Talk to different people in other departments and stuff like that. So it was and still create content, lead creative content strategies and post the content. Like I didn't have to do all I focused on was creating it. So it was definitely like a transition, but it was a big growing experience. Obviously has broadened my skill set that I have now. Sorry, the lights.
That's all good.
um yeah, but it was a really, really cool experience. And I got that promotion within 6 months of
Oh,
working at UVA. So then after that, I got 2 years later, I got another promotion as director of video production over all athletics. And then another one a year later now as director of multimedia and creative content for women's basketball. So my 4.5 year span of being here.
I was gonna say, was your ultimate goal to get back into basketball since that was your true love as a kid?
Honestly, I don't know, cause like I started off in football at Shenandoah and Wake Forest and then UVA. So, everyone wants to work in football. It's hype. So I didn't notice how much like I wanted to work in basketball until I started working here, and the game just kind of grasped my heartstrings again.
Yeah,
I would go back to football, but this is fun right now,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, like personally, I never actually went to college with football. Like I went to Radford, and then I'm gonna go to grad school at LaSalle, which also doesn't have football. So basketball is the main sport at both
Okay,
of them.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I was gonna say, do you ever like supervise like any students, employees, or anything, during your time?
Yeah, during my time, I've supervised students, and being a professor, like, I absolutely love, like, just teaching and watching them grow and learn. And when I was in football, it was just me, running the football department, and I had 6 students. And once they knew the ropes, like, they were coming up with content on their own, going out and shooting things. I was just kind of running the show behind the scenes, making the long form content. But there was a time where anything you seen on the page, it was like my students, and that was a proud moment. And some of them are directors at other, schools and teams right now, and I'm just so proud of them. That's always something that I love seeing. And when, like, the goal is to have them be better than me at my age, or better than me now, like younger than me, and just watching them grow and being there for them, as I get older and as they get older, and, go through different, life's challenges or questions, mentorship, So, yeah.
Okay, nice, nice. And then I was gonna say, as an adjunct professor, you teach sports media courses, right? Specifically.
Yes, yes. Um, yeah, so it's mostly honed in on sports video.
Okay.
It starts very, very, very beginner, and then by the end of the semester, like, different effects, you know how to make music, about sound, about color. um so I've depending on, like, with each class and semester, it's different. So depending on, like, how fast the kids get it, we'll throw in photography, or I'll teach them something about social media and posting and stuff like that. But it is like video based, because there's a lot of elements in video, the basics that you have to learn,
Yeah.
for a piece. Yeah. And then, like, they go out and shoot sports at Shenandoah, and those sports teams in Shenandoah, doesn't have a lot of those resources. The sports teams uses the videos and stuff that my class makes. So, that's cool for them to see too on social media.
Yeah. What is Shenandoah? Is that a smaller institution?
Institution, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Division 3.
Okay.
It's in Northern Virginia. It's in Winchester, Virginia.
Okay.
And yeah, it's in the ODAC. I don't know if, yeah,
Yeah, I know what
Roanoke is
ODAC
in the
is.
ODAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And when you say you teach them pretty beginner stuff at first, do you mean like some of these students never picked up a camera in their life?
Yeah, never picked up a camera. So, um, this might not work for some, but all of the assignments are group assignments. And I feel like when you're learning something completely new, like, some students might not know anything, and then some might have picked up a camera before or have their own page and stuff like that. So I just kind of group those individuals together, and they learn from each other. Like, one person might be the creative mind, one can shoot, one can edit. So that's kind of how they learn from each other, because it is a virtual class, it's remote. And some of them will learn from me, so it just goes hand in hand, since I'm
Yeah.
not, like, physically there to help. Yeah.
And have you had any students be like really passionate about this, doing creative work in sports and move on from it?
Yeah, so a couple of them, really, like, a lot of them graduated this May, and I'm helping a few of them trying to get somewhere. I think one got something with the Globetrotters.
Okay.
I've helped one get an internship. He didn't want to be in video, but he wanted to be on the recruiting side of football. So he has an internship currently at Wake Forest.
Oh,
So I
nice.
have really close ties with the football program over there. And yeah, a few have went to different places. The job market is tough right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I only asked that because I know how grueling and long hours you have to do, and sometimes unpaid. So I didn't know if
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
that, and, like, if you don't have a portfolio too. So that's also my main thing too. So if
Yeah.
none of them have picked up a camera before and they're passionate about it, they want to do this as a career, they don't have any photos or videos or anything to show on their portfolio, like, in class, they make something every week. So they'll have something, for their portfolio to show for a job.
I think that's definitely a good one because I honestly think a portfolio sometimes means more than their resume at times
It
for this
does.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Because I honestly seen some like students that don't have a portfolio, and I tell them, "Where's your portfolio? How's it look? Or can you show me it?" And then I finally convince them to
Yeah.
make one.
Yeah, because like you can have a bunch of words on your resume and say what you can do, but at least in this part of the, like career or industry, you have to have something to show, you know.
Yeah,
Like if
that's
you
for
are in
sure.
operations or a coach or something, you don't have to show work or design, and things like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
because I was gonna say like, just because someone else gives you a word, like a coach might give you a good reference or something, but they don't know how to actually do the creative work, so they don't know if it's good
Yeah.
or bad until the creative
Yeah.
person comes in.
Yeah, and like every creative person has a different look or color, and you don't know if the team, company, or organization that you apply for, like you don't know if they're gonna like your look or color, or
Yeah,
your effects or the way that you story tell. So yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely important.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And then, what is your favorite moment working in sports so far?
I mean, it has a lot of great moments. UVA and just my camera and connections have taken me so many places. I've been to Kansas City and I've went to the NFL draft. I've been to Indianapolis and I've been to the NFL Combine. I've been to Cleveland, Ohio, and that was like a really surreal, like full circle moment for me, because I shot the women's Final Four, and my dream as a little girl was to play D1 college basketball and to play in the WNBA, and I wasn't able to do that, but my camera took me to like that's the closest that I will get,
Yeah,
to that dream,
yeah,
shooting the national championship um, with legendary head coaches, and I didn't have to worry about sitting on the bench or playing bad because I was on the court, the whole time shooting.
yeah,
I was in the game that and celebrating with whichever team won. So that's probably my favorite moment. But yeah, my camera's taking me to a lot of places. I have a lot of great memories.
yeah. I think a camera can really take you worldwide or across the
Yeah,
country,
yeah,
which is almost crazy to think about at times. Yeah,
yeah. I know. Just you and your camera and your
yeah.
skills, and yeah.
And then a little bit off topic, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the growth of women's basketball since you played women's basketball?
It's definitely like on the map, and I feel like if
Yeah,
you're not into it or invested, get in it right now because it's
yeah,
going to skyrocket. And females, like, we have a personality, and we add a little swag pizzazz to the game. um and
yeah.
yeah, I think it's always worth watching. Yeah, we're already breaking barriers, records, and yeah, it's just it's up from here.
Yeah, like just over the weekend, there was the All Star game and all that,
Yeah.
and then the new teams coming into WNBA, all that.
Unrivaled.
Yeah,
There's so
unrivaled.
many things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's growing rapidly. Like, yeah.
yeah. I'm just happy to see it growing because it gives me more basketball to watch. I love watching basketball too myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch. History is being made. So,
yeah,
this is the time to lock in. So,
yeah. I was gonna ask, do you have a favorite team?
not really. I just like watching certain players and even like teams, coaches. Yeah,
Okay,
I just like watching the game. Yeah, I don't have a favorite team. Do
that's
you have
fair.
a
That's
favorite team?
I actually like the Liberty since just
Okay,
because
yeah.
I'm a Knicks fan growing up, so I just
Okay.
transitioned over to it.
Are
And
you a
then
fan of I think her name Ellie, the mascot? The Have you
I
seen
don't,
that? Oh,
I haven't
okay.
seen it, but I also
Oh,
support the Valkyries too, just because the coach is Asian too.
yes.
Nakase, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
for that
yeah.
reason, and Caitlyn Chin and all that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
love all of that.
yep. And then my next question is, what is your go-to camera setup currently?
So right now I have a Canon R6. Um, and that's really like I'll put like a mic on top, or I'm thinking about getting a monitor, but I'm like very old school. Like I'll just shoot with just the body. I love using my 70 to 200 lens, and then I like the 24 to 70 lens. So yeah, that's kind of like my go-to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I shoot with Sony gear, but when I go to grad school, they're gonna switch me to Canon gear, so it's gonna be an adjustment
Oh,
period for me. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, when I was in athletics, they only use Sony gear, so I had to
yeah,
learn that. It's quick though.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess you still prefer Canon, I guess.
Um, Only 'cause I'm used to it. As far as like switching from photo to video, I prefer Canon.
Okay.
Yeah, Sony's a bit different. Um, Photo. I would shoot video with Sony
Yeah,
and photo with Canon if
yeah.
I
I hear
had the
that a lot
choice.
actually because
Yeah.
over the summer, I think it was like a month ago, I went to Skull Sparks 25, and a lot of people were saying that same thing over and over to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next question is, do you have any advice for aspiring sports creatives?
Yeah, first things first, don't compare yourself. Everyone's always posting their work. You have a different look. Everyone has different look. Like I always tell my students when they critique each other's work, like sometimes people won't understand your vision, and that's okay. You can explain it or, you know, always be confident in yourself because when you do get hired by that team, organization, or company, yeah, you're gonna have feedback and critiques, but just remember that they hired you for a reason. They like your work and they just have a certain look. But never compare yourself to other creatives. People are in different spaces in their lives. People are learning at different paces. For me, as long as you just keep learning and stand, true to the trends, staying up to date with everything, you'll be good. Just never lose your confidence because it could be really, 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 really easy to do that when all you're seeing is like all these cool things that different people are doing. So
Yeah, I think comparison's a big thing in this creative world. Like I compare myself to all sorts of people all the time and look at content daily.
yeah, and you never know like how they got there. Everyone's path is different,
Yeah,
and whatever like wherever you want to end up or um you're gonna be the right fit for that place too. So like the place that you get hired by. Um, so yeah.
that's fair. And do you have any like dream teams or leagues or athletes you want to work with or brands?
Yeah, I would love to work for like Under Armour, Nike, Puma, New Balance. I would love to like be a creative director or art director for like brands like that. Um, yeah. Other than that, I feel like that's like the best of the best because you get best of both worlds. You get to work with athletes,
Yeah,
with those brands. You get to work with celebrities. You get to go to the All-Star games
yeah,
and yeah, it's like a little bit of everything working with those brands.
yeah.
So, and it's not just like specific to one sport. Like you work with track athlete, a basketball, football, team, like a team maybe. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Like one of my goals is to work like professional basketball, like NBA or WNBA one day. Just see
Yeah.
how that atmosphere is or how fast paced that is compared to college, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. That especially like WNBA too, because you're watching the league grow and just like the sport itself grow if you're in it and like you're able to capture like different moments, spurts of history and stuff. So yeah, working in WNBA would be cool too.
Yeah. Well, a little off topic. This I don't know if you heard this before, but I think it was Cameron Brink that brought it up once that instead of expanding more teams in the league, they should expand the rosters more from 12 people to more players. Would you agree with
Yeah,
that?
you're talking about for the WNBA
Yeah, for the
or
WNBA because they have a 12-player max roster right now, and well,
yeah, and a lot of them are being pushed to play overseas or in these like other leagues, which maybe by them creating more teams, like maybe those women are able to come back to the US or they're just gonna trade different people on team. So yeah, it's sometimes sad to see some of the greats, in women's college basketball have to like get cut and have
yeah,
to play, overseas or somewhere.
that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. And then, do you believe that being a student athlete helped you with your journey to working in sports in any way?
Oh yeah, like you still have that like competitiveness, that drive, determination. You still have that some of those like mental like elements that were embedded into your brain when you're competing as an athlete.
Yeah.
Um, so whether you're like competing against others or just competing against yourself, staying up, push yourself to stay up late nights, finish that edit, or push yourself to learn something new. Yeah, I definitely think like being a former athlete has its perks, and you're able to relate,
Yeah.
to the other athletes and you know speak their
That's fair.
language. So yeah,
That's fair because I think I forgot when I saw this social media thing on TikTok, I believe it was, where it said some people love to hire former athletes just because their work ethic was already there from their playing days, and it just
yeah,
translates over very well.
yeah, yeah, it does. And I've heard a lot of other athletes say the same thing. So former
Yeah,
athletes, yeah.
yeah, that's fair. And then, what are some of your future goals?
Um, yeah, like you, I would love to see what it's like to work in the pros, whether it's the NFL, NBA, WNBA, um, or work for a brand. And then I'm an adjunct professor, so when I feel like, I've done my diligence and create a name for myself, and I feel like accomplished and successful, like in the sports industry, I would love to just teach full time and
Okay,
work on continuing to grow my production company. I have a production company called Storyteller Films,
okay,
and
nice.
just having like a chain of studios and like having an audio studio, a film studio, a graphic design photo studio, and just like tell the story, tell like stories tell basically through my production company. So it's a lot of different like dreams, but if they were in order, like that would kind of be
Yeah,
the order for next steps.
I was gonna say if you don't, as long as you don't give up on them and work hard, they'll come true. I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that's like my mom always says, if you don't believe in yourself, who else can? And that comes with confidence, and you're gonna have people say different things throughout the course of your life to you to put you down, or but you always have to like be headstrong, know who you are, and continue, to do what the Lord has called you to do.
Yeah,
So
especially in this field, like it's very hard because you're working long hours, you're traveling a lot, you're missing out on a lot of fun stuff, and
I know.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no work-life balance.
yeah,
But
it's hard.
like it is, and like I keep bringing my mom up because she has to remind me sometimes, like, Taylor, some people would love to be in your shoes, and like when you're in it you don't see it because it's like, oh, it's normal, or oh, I'm around
Yeah,
this athlete, like, and you just have to like remember those things and not take those things for granted.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And then at the University of Virginia, I just wanted to know how is the creative staff there in athletics? Is it like a big staff, small staff, or whatnot?
Yeah. So for women's basketball, I'm a one-man band, and for the athletics department, there's a assistant AD of creative, and then there's two video um videographers, and then there's two photographers and one graphic designer. And then in football, there's three creative staff. So the creative staff for athletics, they run all 27 sports. Oh, and they also have a social person. And then the only two sports that have their own creatives is women's basketball and football. And then there is like one of the videographers um with the athletics department, he's like 75% men's basketball.
Okay,
So men's basketball
that's
kind of
fair.
has their own creative, but not really.
Do you think
Um,
men's basketball will ever get their like dedicated creative at one point?
I think in the future, yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Because creative and social media is only going up, and you know, we have to eventually
yeah.
catch up and yeah,
Do you,
prioritize that stuff.
do you think it like helps with the recruitment and NIL stuff with everything?
Yeah, 100%. Because if you think about it, when you're creative, you're making content and showing the inside of the program that like a lot of people don't physically get to see or come to a game. So like what you're making, that's the first thing that they see
Yeah,
of the
that's fair.
program. So yeah, I definitely think it's really important.
Yeah. And then something I wanted to follow up that I just got curious about is, have you heard about the NCAA versus the House law that that
Yeah,
was
I
recent?
have. Yeah,
And how
yeah.
do you think that will affect creative content in the near future?
Uh, it's a topic that um us creatives have been discussing. Um, it's different because like here we have Cat Futures and they make content for the athletes and they get paid for that content. And for us, we don't pay the athletes for the content. You know, we're making content for the team, for the brand, and you know, I don't know. It could die or it may not. I mean, I still feel like programs need a creative to show, who they are. Like I said earlier, that's the first thing you see, about a
Yeah.
program. But NIL could get carried away. Who knows? Like
Yeah.
it's growing rapidly. We might not be needed, or maybe it'll just be like limited resources. Um, I don't
Yeah. I
know.
was.
What do you think?
Well, my biggest fear was if we like shoot a, let's say we shoot a basketball game and we get like a photo we like, but the player says, "Oh, I don't like it," after the game when they see it. Then what happens there? That's my biggest fear.
Oh, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the head coach is the last say. So if
Yeah.
they don't like it, like you still post it. It's a big moment of the game. The athlete may not repost it, but it's still in a sense like um showing the program
Yeah.
and the team, which is the ultimate like goal of the page and the creative of a team. So
Yeah. That's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. And then, oh, you talked about wanting to be a full-time professor in the future. Does
Hmm.
that mean, do you see yourself doing like creative work in sports specifically in the next like 10 to 20 years down the road? Just because a lot of people burn out and start like selling down more often later on.
Yeah, it really just depends on like where I'm at. I know like maybe working for a different company or organization, or even just like you can work at one school and work so much and work at another school and like you're chilling. So it just depends like where I am in my life. But when I put this down, I won't be putting it down completely because I will still be teaching sports media and having guest speakers come in that I've built relationships with over the course of my career and the stage I'm in right now. And, hopefully grow my production company and telling those sports stories and getting invited to universities or brands, to set up a shoot and interview and stuff like that. Um, so I think in a way I'll still be in it, kind of for the rest of my life. But we'll see wherever the wind takes me. 10, 15 years from now, still might be in it or not. Depends on the burnout,
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I always question myself, like, if I later on after grad school and I get a job, would I be able to do it for the next like 50, when I'm 50 plus years old or something? Would I be
I
able to
know.
stay like doing it, especially like basketball or something where you're sitting and you're like crisscross applesauce and your body hurts half the time?
Yeah, and like there's some positions too where like you lead a group or lead a
Yeah,
staff and you're like the brain and you come up with the content strategies, campaign and stuff like that. You don't have to run around the field or run around the court. So there could be positions like that like when you're 50 and you can like lead a department and then you have people our age right now who can run around and, you know, do that kind of stuff. So it just depends on where you're at.
yeah, that's fair. And my other thing is, do you ever do any like graphics or photos too on top of your video work?
Yeah, so I dip and dab in a little bit of everything: video, photo, graphic design. I also like to mix music. Um, yeah, I do everything. So,
When you say you make music, are you like on Spotify or anything?
oh, I wish. So like I mix
Yeah.
like
Oh, okay.
songs that are already made and like
Okay.
separate the vocal and the instrumental and put like a Nicki Minaj vocal over a Drake instrumental and like
Okay.
match it up and like it's kind of like a DJ type of
Yeah.
mix, that you hear in the club or something like that. Yeah,
And
that's
do
kind
you
of what I
incorporate
do.
that to your videos ever?
I do sometimes. Of course, like we're not allowed to use commercial music
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But I've done it like a couple of times. Most of the time I just make it for fun and just
Yeah.
listen to it myself. I don't post anywhere.
And
But
then I was gonna say my last question would be, what is your like expectations for the women's basketball team for the upcoming season?
yeah, I really hope that we go far and we go to tournament and make it far there. Coach Mox always says that we're going to hang banners, and we do believe that we have a great team this year. A lot of different talent, and we're good, across the boards. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Or, well, actually, I have another question to follow up
Yeah,
on
what's
it.
up? Yeah.
Was is your team, the women's team, a lot of transfers or a lot of returning players from the previous year?
Yeah, it's about half and half.
Okay.
Transfers and returners. So it's pretty much like a new team, but you have like leadership from the returners. And
Okay.
yeah, like I said, it's a good mesh. Um, so yeah, everyone's learning and growing.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I want to just thank you for hopping on this podcast and
Yeah.
chatting up with me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for
Yeah.
inviting me. I'm excited to hear about like your story and your journey. You said you're still in school right now?
Well, I'll be going back to school. I took a 2 year gap from it,
Okay.
but last year I shot the Radford men's basketball team.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
So are you going back to Radford?
I'm going to LaSalle, which is where the men's basketball coach actually is going, where he went to coach now. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna move up to Philadelphia at some point, and
Oh, okay.
and
Are
be
you
a
gonna
GA.
shoot for them?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
well, be a GA for the athletic department,
Okay, cool.
shooting a little
Yeah.
bit of everything. I think.
That's exciting. You'll
Yeah,
definitely get a lot of experience there and
yeah,
make sure, you talk to people and build
yeah,
connections when if you travel or teams come home. Make sure you talk to the other creatives
yeah,
and,
for sure.
yeah. I'm excited. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely excited. Like, there's a few sports like I never shot before, which is like rowing or rugby, like stuff like that. I wanted to try out something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think ultimately basketball is my favorite sport to shoot. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, just I'll definitely keep up with you. I'm excited,
yeah, appreciate
for your
it.
journey. Yeah, this will
Yeah,
definitely be good on your resume. You'll grow and learn a lot and you're
yeah,
shooting for a D1 program, so sky's the limit after
yeah,
that. You have the
yeah, appreciate
experience.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
well, have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah.